In the previous video, we already examined the Soviet armored vehicles that step-by-step approached the Hungarian capital. Now it is time to look at what awaited them. The defense of Budapest was held by mixed German-Hungarian forces, and it was their tanks, self-propelled guns, and aircraft that formed the backbone of the fierce fighting in the city streets, on the cobblestones, and among the ruins of palaces. It is worth starting with the medium tanks, which formed the core of the German units. Panzerkampfwagen 4 and the H&J modifications. These machines, armed with a 75mm KWK-40 cannon, could confidently engage T-34s and provide fire support to the infantry. In Budapest, the PZ-4s were often used in ambushes. The urban labyrinth of streets allowed the tanks to block entire directions, while the armor skirts of the H model offered good protection against shape-charged weapons. The simplified J version had fewer features: a manually rotated turret, minimal electrics, and extensive material savings. Fighting alongside them were Panzer III tanks in the M and N variants. The M model carried a 50mm cannon and was used mainly for infantry support, while the PZ IIIN, with its short-barreled 75mm gun, was useful against fortifications and dense Soviet assault groups. Although the PZ III was considered outdated in the cramped streets of the city, it proved surprisingly effective. Its compact hull, good maneuverability, and adequate armor allowed these tanks to slip into places where larger machines simply could not turn. The main burden of defense in the city was carried by self-propelled guns. The Stu G3 Osif G, with its low silhouette and powerful gun, was one of the most effective tank destroyers in dense urban areas. It fit perfectly into city defensive positions, between half-ruined buildings, at intersections, and behind barricades. In urban combat, the Stu G often destroyed Soviet tanks before they could return fire. A serious weapon in German hands was the Jagdpanzer IV, long-barreled tank destroyers. Their Pak-42 cannon could penetrate Soviet armor from long distances, but the extremely heavy front end made the vehicle difficult to maneuver. Attempts to turn in narrow streets often ended with broken transmissions. Despite this, the Jagdpanzer IV remained one of the most dangerous opponents for Soviet crews. Another key vehicle was the Jagdpanzer 38 Hetzer. Low, very compact, and almost invisible among the ruins, it created deadly ambushes. In Budapest, these guns were often hidden between collapsed facades, where even experienced tank crews could not immediately spot them. Improvised anti-tank solutions also played a role. The SDKFZ 251 Halftrack, equipped with a Pak-40 anti-tank gun, became a sort of mobile trap. Little armor, but high mobility and impressive firepower. In the city, they were often placed behind street corners or inside court arches. Alongside them, anti-aircraft variants of the SDKFZ 251 fitted with 20mm guns were also used, providing close-range fire support. In narrow alleyways, such anti-aircraft half-tracks became fearsome anti-infantry weapons, sweeping away Soviet assault groups with long bursts. When the situation became critical, the Germans committed their heavy armor. Panther's G variant were the most powerful medium tanks on the battlefield. Their KWK-42 cannon could penetrate Soviet armor at any practical distance, and their excellent optics ensured high accuracy. On the outskirts of the city, where there was more open space, Panthers destroyed Soviet tank units before the latter could even get within effective range. In the inner city, however, their size and weight became a disadvantage, and crews were forced to act cautiously to avoid getting stuck or blocking themselves among debris. The heavy Tiger I tanks were still formidable opponents. Thick frontal armor and a powerful 88mm cannon allowed them to control wide avenues and major barricades. But the real symbol of the defense became the Tiger II. Its armor was nearly invulnerable to most Soviet anti-tank weapons, and its cannon could penetrate any Soviet tank. The appearance of a Tiger II on a section of the front often halted the Soviet advance almost instantly. However, for urban combat, the machine was too heavy, slow, fuel-hungry, and simply difficult to maneuver in the narrow streets. Among the anti-aircraft weapons, the Whirlwind became a true close combat hammer. A mobile turret with 4 20mm cannon, it destroyed not only Soviet aircraft but also infantry assault groups. Its rate of fire allowed it to literally cut down attacking waves on open street sections. Hungarian armored forces also contributed to the city's defense. Their main vehicle was the Turan II medium tank with a 75mm cannon, outdated against Soviet machines, but still useful for infantry support in defending urban blocks. The light Toldi 3A served as reconnaissance vehicles and mobile firing points, though they stood no chance against Soviet armor. The most successful Hungarian vehicle was the Zrínyi II, an assault gun with a 105mm howitzer, which proved highly effective in urban operations. In the battle for Budapest, even rare Zrínyi variants equipped with rocket launchers were used as close-range assault weapons. Hungarian crews, having fewer vehicles and poorer equipment, often fought until the last shell, continuing the battle until their machines were immobilized. In the skies above the city, the German Air Force still operated. Although few aircraft remained, the most actively used was the Focke-Wulf FW-190 F8, an assault variant equipped with bombs and 20mm cannons. It was used to strike Soviet forward units and concentrations of armor on the outskirts. These flights were extremely risky. Soviet air defense was dense, and the fuel shortage forced pilots to economize every minute in the air. The skies over Budapest also saw Messerschmitt Bf-109 G6 fighters, the most widespread and affordable variant, capable of at least providing some resistance to Soviet attack aircraft. Winter conditions, fuel shortages, and the lack of pilots made German fighter missions short and rare, but each appearance could significantly disrupt Soviet offensive efforts. The Battle of Budapest became one of the bloodiest urban operations of the Second World War. It demonstrated that even the most advanced equipment cannot secure victory when strategic initiative has long been lost and the enemy's resources are incomparably greater. And among the ruins of the Hungarian capital ended the story of many legendary machines that tried to the very last to hold back the war's relentless march westward.